So over the last 6 months, I believe that I went through this phase called the liminal phase of manifesting, where I was putting in 1000% effort towards every area of life to alter my frequency from top down, to make sure my self-concept was right before I took action, to calm my mind, calm my energy, and do everything from the right intuition. And despite the fact that I stopped taking frantic action and always being busy, always hustling, but even when I tried to meditate and calm myself, I still found very, very limited results in the 3D. And I'm sure that a lot of people may have gone through this phase where no matter what you do, it just doesn't work on the outside. But you yourself have really shifted to a degree where everything that you say you're going to do, you can do them and you can command yourself very well. But there will be times where when you see your outer reality stay the same, or it just progressively gets worse and worse, that part where you feel a little bit let down, or this subtle sense of, oh, again, it's not showing again, that is the thing that actually makes it perpetuate. So what I want to do today is to read out with you what I wrote yesterday. And today, while I'm filming this one, it is October the 10th. My goal with YouTube was to pre-film 105 videos ahead of time and finish it by the end of September, which I have. So this video is more like a surplus. And so that's why after completing 106 videos in 1.5 months, starting from August 13th and finishing at around end of September, it was just a very, very hustling period of my life where it was still in flow, but I didn't have much time to think about what I was thinking. So every day I was waking up, meditating for 50 minutes, having breakfast, cooking myself breakfast, and then getting ready to film 4 videos each time. So I'll pump out 4 videos each day and sometimes do them 4 days a week. So that'll be 16 videos per week. And when I kept doing this week by week, at first it was really fun, but towards the end, my nervous system literally crashed. Even though I still had fun doing it towards the end, but I just couldn't process this emotion, what I was feeling about achieving my goal in the material reality, but not really feeling that sense of victory towards the end. It just felt like, oh, but this is my normal standard. I can absolutely do this. And I was a bit sad that I didn't feel this sense of victory or euphoria at the end of it. So that's when I had time to really write down in my journal what I was feeling, because I wasn't writing down anything in my journal at that time. I just focused on filming. And now today, I finally figured out what the fuck has been happening to me for the last 6 months. And even though, yes, there's a lot of beautiful momentum and a lot of beautiful changes, but I'm not gonna lie to you and say there hasn't been any 3D obstacles for the last 6 months, because while there was a lot of beautiful things happening, there was also many no movements, many things staying the same, and many opposites just happening to insult me over and over and over again. And so I'm just gonna read out to you what I have written. So I came to conclude that, in my 3D reality, these are the things that I personally want. So I want a specific dating life, and I've met the guy that I want this potential dating life to be with. And if it's not him, then I want somebody very similar to him. But the thing is, I feel like this kind of man, the quality of the man I'm looking for, it's quite hard to meet him randomly, especially in person. So I felt that it was really special that we met in person and we met in the sauna, because I felt like, what are the chances of somebody coming to sit next to you in the sauna and you just feel like, yeah, there's potential, So that's the dating life that I wanted. And I know the rhythm that I want. I feel like he understands what I like and we have the same routine. So I want that. Then I also want to make a specific amount of money per month. I've always wanted this, by the way, and this is the baseline that I want. And I believe that just having this baseline means that I could literally afford my dream life, and it's not $1 million a year. I want to have a specific number of subscribers within this next 7 months. So today is October the 10th, and my 106 videos would run until May of next year. And I expect that from now to May, I could potentially, have X amount of subscribers, which I'm not going to say out here, but yeah. I want a wealthy lifestyle where I work hard, but it's not that kind of hard work where you get breadcrumb returns. But when you work hard, it's like rewarding return. I want to live in a specific suburb and it's really, really expensive. So even if you pay a very high price, you still get a shitty apartment in that area. But for me, I want the luxury apartment in the luxury area as well. So that's not going to happen with a 9-to-5 job. It has to happen with self-employed or entrepreneurship only. And the last thing I truly, truly want is a 10 out of 10 aligned reality where every single input that I put in, the 1000% effort to alter my frequency, to do the inner work, to do all these things, it actually translates to a harmonious and beautiful reality and not some sort of weird contradictions. So I concluded that in order for me to have this, my frequency, so this is my book right here, and this is me. So I concluded that my frequency had to emanate love, feeling privileged, feeling significant, feeling special, feeling like I always get elite treatments, feeling like I deserve things beyond the average. And yeah, when you think about, oh, it's wrong to feel privileged, it's wrong to want things above average, because that was what I was always shamed about, for wanting things beyond the ordinary. I had to let go of the shame that it's okay to want to feel privileged. So the main feeling that I always liked feeling is being privileged, special, and accessing exclusive experiences. And this was always something that I kind of accessed since I was younger. So instead of me just settling for a normal school life, I would do extracurricular, become captain, and get to go to this other world where a lot of the students my grade didn't get to access at the time, which was going to Parliament House, meeting governments and politics. And when I grow up, I also want that kind of thing where if I put in the extra effort, I kind of expect that reality will give me a privileged result. And it hasn't been happening for a very long time because of resistance. So I realized that, for the last decade or so, I was living in survival mode every day. So of course it is unrealistic to expect a beautiful and harmonious reality when my frequency was always in survival and my environment was always emphasizing to me that I was too cocky, too arrogant, and I felt shameful for being that, and I bought into that belief of everyone around me telling me that I was arrogant and I wanted too much. And I think that I'm better than other people, which I don't. But when I feel like I do, I express that. I think I am more talented or more skilled than this person. So I always came off as arrogant. But the thing is, I wasn't unapologetically arrogant. Every single time somebody criticized me, I felt shame for being this way. So I always felt shameful for wanting more. And I felt guilty for wanting beautiful things in life without having to struggle to the core for it. I'm willing to work hard, but there has to be the kind of working hard where everything that you sow, the garden's beautiful, not just working hard and then you get no garden, if you know what I mean. So I stopped this whole cycle, or attempted to, in April of 2025, when I was like, I'm going to stop chasing the algorithm. I'm going to stop getting affected by comments or lack of comments. I'm going to stop getting affected by lack of subscribers, and I'm just going to really take a step back and live my dream life before I go back to YouTube. And because I'm in a privileged position as well, that I have a great dad, a very, very great dad, and he's willing to let me live like this. And of course, he pays me a little bit. It doesn't affect his earning, but he was willing to pay me $70 cash every week for me to go out and live my dream life. And in return, I will be a good daughter and do whatever I can to make his life a bit more easier, which is cooking his work lunch, all these little things. But even if I don't do it, I'll still get paid anyway. But I just, want to be a good daughter. So I'm very lucky to be able to live like this, of course. And not everyone is in a position to live like this, and I understand it. So I admit that in this part, I'm very privileged. So I decided to take advantage of this privilege by using that money, that's $70 per week. $70 to $100. Sometimes he gives me $100. And I use it to go to the beach, to increase my stamina, to enhance my swimming endurance. And I told myself that instead of me using this $70 to $100 cash to go and catch up with a friend, because when you pay for 2 people a meal, 2 people can be $70. So I'm already wasting $35 minimum. And sometimes I end up wasting $40 or $50 on a random meal with a friend. And I'm like, I can't afford to live like this. So instead, I don't catch up with friends. But before that, I even take myself out to the ferries to see the sunrise or sunrise by the coastal walk. And I really go all in. I don't meet any friends. I don't text anyone. I don't socialize. And I preserve my energy to give it all to me and my fitness. To the point where I was able to swim 1,000 meters on 4 hours of sleep consistently, which is really, really cool for me, to be honest. I was able to shed and have my dream body back from gaining a bit of weight. I was able to increase my stamina, increase my focus, and become really resilient, but also very present and very aware of life. So this routine helped me so much. And I started this in April of 2025, where even though I did quit long videos on YouTube and I wasn't getting paid through Google AdSense, but I was still working every week doing YouTube shorts. And even though these shorts don't seem like legit work, but for me, it was legit because the editing and the filming didn't take a short amount of time to do. It still took quite a bit of effort to regulate myself to feel beautiful, to be magnetic, and to appear beautiful on camera each time I do it. So even though people describe hard work as closing sales, negotiating deals with clients, getting on the call, and they may seem like making beauty reels and wearing makeup to do posing on YouTube shorts is not a proper work. But for me, it took proper effort, it took alignment, it took proper focus to edit. So I was still building momentum towards work. I was still editing a lot. I was still showing up. I was still taking care of my body. After a while of doing these YouTube shorts, I then saw this coloring contest. And the promise was that if you win, then you'd receive $20,000. And to be honest, 2 days ago, I checked the winner and I saw the actual drawing and I felt like it was absolute insult because not just the winner's drawing, but even the last 10 finalists, I felt like it was total joke. Like, what the fuck was I doing with this contest? It was, yeah. So basically, I was putting in 1,000% effort doing like 7 mock-ups and trials of that painting. I was then doing 16 reels to help this company promote this contest. And they gave me nothing. They didn't respond. They just gave me love hearts. They didn't thank me for my effort and they didn't even put me in the finalist. And I wasn't really pissed off. But then 2 days ago, I looked at the winner and the finalist and I'm like, this is stupid. But then what I realized was that this whole journey towards me doing about not 7, but 10 mock-ups of the design before I paint the actual one. When I listened to 3 Magic Words and Kabbalah and finished these audiobooks while painting, it really helped me increase my stamina again. And when I saw the actual winners coloring, you know, if I was my old version, I'd feel really insulted and just like, what the fuck is this whole thing about? But then I realized that this whole journey was supposed to serve me. And so I realized that I was actually working a bit harder while I was doing this contest, thinking that I was definitely going to win 20 grand because I put in the hours, I painted it very well, everything met the criteria in the 3D reality, and I felt like I altered my frequency to win, and I thought that I was already in a winning identity. That's why I was spending hours and hours painting and doing the reels to help promote. But then, yeah, I put in 1,000% effort and the situation was 0%. But then what I gained was really massive because I was able to use the momentum of filming 16 reels in less than 2 weeks. I did 16 reels for this company, including filming myself painting, and this was very long hours. And this whole process actually served me in creating long videos. So that's why I was able to do 106 YouTube videos in 1.5 months. It's because prior to that, I was really hardcore with the contest and I was spending long hours painting and making the reels. So I was spending a lot of hours working. For me, working, even though I wasn't getting paid, but I still think that painting, focusing, creating art, filming it and posting it and all these things is still work. And so that was what I was trying to do in the last 6 months. So I said that this whole phase was a transition. So what happened was that my frequency or my internal state was hovering around feeling winning, feeling satisfied in myself, feeling special occasionally, because after I finished these really long, hard work, I would then take myself out to Double Bay and go to a date by myself. I would dress up, go to beautiful restaurants alone. So I felt special. I felt like a lot of my needs were met because in the process, I was manifesting this random money. And I was using the spare money from this random pay to buy Temu dresses, to book spa bar sessions in the morning at Bondi. And even though these things are insignificant, they're just like little one-off trades, like $40 or $50 per set. But they made me feel special in between. And it made a big difference to my emotional well-being just to have this dress and wear it. And it's not like $100. I got it for $50. So these little things that, you know, again, my dad gives me $75 to $100. But then I was lucky to manifest some random money so I can use $50 to go and buy these things instead of using $50 out of $75 cash to do these things and not have money to do swimming and to eat out and stuff. But in the mix of it, it was stressful because, again, it was limited income. It was really bare minimum and really limited. So even though I felt satisfied and fulfilled, I felt frustrated. I felt insulted. Of course, who wouldn't feel insulted by that kind of contest situation? I felt mocked. I felt exhausted because I was working long hours and I wasn't getting paid. I was burnt out slightly, but not to the point where I was depressed, but I was experiencing micro burnouts here and there. And I realized that because I felt both special, satisfied, winning, fulfilled, and my needs met, at the same time as me feeling frustrated, insulted, mocked, exhausted, and burnt out, I was manifesting a break-even and mixed reality. So I was able to finish 106 YouTube videos and I felt amazing, even though I said I didn't feel like this victory feeling, but as the days went on and my nervous system calmed down, I still felt really amazing that, yeah, like I was able to deliver my promise. That's what felt really good, is that I told myself I want to do this and I really did it. And I really felt amazing that I listened to myself. Not exactly because I can push for really big goals. I know I can, but just the fact that I said no to many things and I prioritized this goal and I really delivered, that's what made me feel very happy. I was still successful at my swims all the time. I was hitting 1,000 meters each time, even though there were times where I burnt out literally on that morning. But I would try my best, and 90% of the time I could do 1,000 meters, no matter if I slept 2 hours the night before or 3 hours or have no sleep or broken sleep, I still hit my goals. And this is on top of me traveling 2 hours to get there. Bus, train, bus, coastal walk. Yeah. And all the material attempts at creating beauty reels and all these things, they were all successful. When I said I want to do them, I'm always successful in them. So the input of me was shifting. I was successful in everything that I do. The output. With the YouTube videos, there's no progress because I saw that after I published 3 videos, because I published the first one on October the 5th and today's October the 10th. And so the third one got about 35 views in 12 hours or something. And my subscribers was like oscillating between, gaining 1 or 2 subscribers a day, then losing it or something like that. I didn't check it specifically, but I saw the rough numbers. So I'm like, after 3 videos, like really heartfelt, poured my heart and soul into it, I still got crickets in the 3D. Even though I was successful in my swim, but I don't feel relaxed. I always feel bombarded by tourists. So I go to these swims, and 3 years ago, there were less tourists, I think. And now there's just so many tourists after COVID, so it's pretty hard to feel gentle and relaxed in myself. And it pisses me off because all I want is to just find a place to feel like I can recharge. And now this place is filled with tourists and I can't really feel peaceful all the time there. And again, there's zero acknowledgement. Again, the contest, no money, no vote, no anything. So this is my break-even reality where I am improving everything for 6 months and reality gives me nothing. Now, when I say nothing, I don't exactly mean that it gives me just failures, but it gave me a mix of like almost there, but not quite there reality. So that's why the predominant feeling that I felt was a subtle letdown. And I realized that in order to create the instant change from now on is that even if the 3D reality echoes 35 views in 12 hours on the 3rd YouTube video, even though I have zero progress in subscribers growth after 3 really great vids, even though I got spam calls, spam emails, that's like mockery. Now, when I say zero progress, it's more like the reality feedback, but my input is still pretty good. What has to happen is that you and me, I am though, but you also have to still emanate a 10 out of 10 frequency despite seeing the break-even reality. So you have to emanate love, fulfillment, feeling privileged, special and chosen, regardless of what is showing you in the 3D. So the reason why I share this whole thing with you is because when you see like a little bit of progress and then no progress, and a little bit of progress and then no progress, and then you're seeing yourself putting so much transformation for 6 months, sometimes things change and then it goes back the same, then it changes and it goes back the same. There's this graph and it goes like this in a 3D reality. You have to stay in a magnetic frequency. Because what I realized happened to me was that I was really good at suppressing my emotions. I was really good at being in survival state and being like, look, I'm not affected. Even though deep down I felt insulted. I felt like the world was mocking me again and again and again and again and again. And I was manifesting this reality where every long weekend I would have to stay in this place that I don't want to be in. And my parents and my family and everyone would be here. And instead of me just being able to travel freely or go out with friends and bond with people, I was constantly stuck in this reality that my childhood self feared the most. And I realized that even though I was winning at everything, but reality gave me zero breadcrumb returns constantly, it's because every single time I see any evidences of break even or breadcrumb returns, I would slightly react. Not in a way where, oh my God, I feel devastated, but I would pretend that I don't feel anything instead of just acknowledging the fact that I felt something. So when I got a fine, after I already had my bank account wiped out, I actually felt fearful to an extent, even though I revised the situation on the spot and I never received the actual letter of the fine, but I still felt really scared at the time. And because I don't really sit with my emotions, and at the time I was filming a YouTube video, so I didn't really think about, oh, let's just like look at this emotion and how I'm feeling, because I just want to be focused on my goal. So after I finished my goal, which is 106 vids, I just felt this numbness, like what the fuck is going on? Why don't I feel like euphoric like I thought I would? And that's because while I was filming and hitting my goals, I was numbing myself to achieve success. So I was enjoying the videos, I was enjoying the hard work of YouTube, but I was faced with unexpected fines, bank account wipeouts, insulting situations, mockery, lack of income, this and that, and just really chaotic 3D reality constantly for 6 months. And instead of me just sitting in my meditation being like, okay, let's have a look at what we're feeling, I would pretend that I'm fine. Even though I acknowledge a little bit that I'm a bit affected, but most of the time I would always be like, I'm fine. And because I've always practiced this muscle of I have to be fine, because I was always taught that don't express your emotions, just don't cry about it. So it became automatic that I always suppressed that slight bit of fear, that slight bit of letdown, and that suppression becomes a frequency in your body. So for me, it wasn't actually that significant, but it perpetuated this reality for a bit where it was a bit satisfying and then it gets taken away. Then I have this thing, then it gets taken away. Then I create insane willpower, insane courage to give the note to the guy, and the guy didn't reject me. He was really happy receiving it, but I didn't put down my number. I didn't put down my contact details. So for the next months, there was zero movement. I didn't see him at all. I don't know which day he was coming. I tried to go on the day he was going and it wasn't happening, and I was frustrated. I was let down because I traveled far. I'm tired and I just want to receive my reward. And I shouldn't be seeing the guy as a reward, but if I wish for something, I really want it to come true in the 3D reality. And I was coming back to ask myself, have I not charged my emotions enough? And I think that is it. So again, in this liminal phase of manifestation, there are two things that will happen. The first one is that no matter what you do to alter yourself, to become alchemy, to alter your frequency top down, to make sure that you don't take frantic actions and everything's aligned, reality gives you nothing. And the second one is that you do everything right. You start to quantum jump, you start to develop insane willpower, and you do them successfully. And what happens is that for me, when I gave the note to the guy, that was insane courage and willpower. And on the day I gave it, it was just complete opposite the whole way through. There was a bunch of tourists. He wasn't in a good mood. And I successfully quantum jumped through that. And so it fried my nervous system because I didn't know how to hold it. I was scared of what's going to happen next, because while I was filming 106 YouTube videos, I was scared of everything. I was scared that if I don't pre-film it and I react to comments and lack of subscribers growth, I would feel discouraged to keep going because my environment is quite limited. So I wanted to make sure that no matter what happens in the next 7 months, the video gets posted on autopilot. Even if I don't gain massive following, or even if I go viral, the momentum continues. And so that's what happened. So if I dated, it would affect my emotions. If I don't date, it would affect my emotions. So both rejection and dating would make me scared. So I kind of unconsciously froze the whole thing. And when I froze the whole thing, I didn't realize that I was creating that situation, so I was getting frustrated. And when I got frustrated, I would then be like, no, I'm fine. I would suppress that frustration and keep filming. And then when I finally look back at what the fuck is happening after I finish my work, I realize now that if you see any contradictory results, part of it is you. Yes, it's also the 3D lag, but if it lags a bit longer than you expect, it might be that residual frequency that you haven't fully acknowledged. So that's why I wrote today, October 10th, that my field emanates all the perfect frequency regardless of what actions I take. So I realized that I was so done figuring out which days do I go to swim, how many videos do I do today, what topics do I do, what do I talk about, what do I do after this, do I do this, do I check this, do I do that? And I want to make sure that regardless if I take the action or not, the outcome is in my desired reality. And that is where you let go and let God. I was so tired of being the only person that has to make shit happen. So when you have this affirmation or this mental decision that regardless if you get in the way or not, it still gets done. Whether I make the right decision to go swim on Monday or Tuesday, or whether I do this and that at this time, it still gets done. Whether I check my YouTube stats, whether I do more than this, I still go viral. I still have my big break because I've already done the inner work to do 106 videos and everything else around it. So that's why I decided that from today onwards that I'm filming this, whether I interfere on any process or I do more or do less, it still works out either way. Every single decisions that I made previously, especially in September, the 106 videos, which vids to upload afterwards, and what to do next with my business or my career leads me to my desired reality. So I don't always know what to do next, but I take the intuition when it comes. And today I have this intuition to film about this book today. And last month I had the intuition to film 86 videos. And the month before last month, August, I had intuition to film 20 videos. So I always had these nudges and intuition. I followed them right away. But after that, I may have times where I don't know what to do next. Do I reach out to this client? Do I set up a website? Do I do a coaching call? What do I do? I don't know. But I decided that no matter what that next decision is, it's always the right decision. So I'm capable of paying myself the money that I want per month, anytime. Not just by clients, not just by Google Ads, by me, anytime. Before the outer world can prove that to me. So I was so sick of waiting for the paycheck because I feel like I've done the work that I need to do. 106 YouTube videos, that gives me plenty of time to build other services and products in between and still have my videos post every 2 days. So that's enough. So from this point onwards, even if I don't film, I'll be fine. So from this point onwards, I decided that no matter what happens, I still get paid. I still get paid because I vibrationally pay myself first. And when there's an intuition to work and to create product, to sell something, I take action right away, and I always do that. So yeah, from now on, every single long video that I make from today is made from overflow and from passion, and not from I have to do this. Because on my first year of YouTube, of proper commitment, which is 2024, so I started YouTube like 10 years ago and it was sporadic, but on my first year of really like hardcore going in like really full time at it was last year, 2024. Today's 2025 October. So I don't know when this gets posted, but today's 2025. I was always chasing the algorithm. I was always struggling to deal with comments that left me snarky comments and insulting comments and mockeries and all these things. And I told myself that the videos that I make is not about, will this title make me viral? Will people comment a lot? Will this, will that? I just make it from overflow and from passion and wanting to share what I have inside my body. I am capable of feeling internally satisfied, turned on by life, magnetic as fuck, carefree as fuck. No matter how many more times the 3D throws me the exact opposite. No matter if my videos get 12 views, 35 views, 100 views in 1 week, whatever, and I put in my heart and soul, I dress up properly, I have everything's frequency all to top down, and shit still doesn't land, I choose to be magnetic as fuck, carefree as fuck, and working from overflow. No stressing. If I stress and I don't suppress it, no more interpreting situations. Am I worthless? Am I this and that? Why the view's not going up? Am I not good enough? None of that shit. Every decision that I make from my current location leads me to dating the guy that I want right now. I'm already in magnetic dimension at the swim right now. So since about a month ago, when I started to double down on making YouTube videos in advance, the month that I made 86 videos in September, I went to swim every week, but I didn't feel magnetic anymore. And this place was supposed to make me feel magnetic. So I used to think that the place made me feel sexy until I stopped feeling sexy, even though I hit my goals there and everything was still the same. But I didn't feel the same. I felt fucking tired. I felt like I need sleep. And I couldn't get proper sleep. So I decided that from today onwards, since I'm not hustling anymore, I'm not forcing myself to push 16 videos a week anymore because I've done it already, there's more than enough. Everything's more overflow now, there's no more stress. I pay myself now vibrationally, so therefore the outer reality has to match. When I go to swim, I'm in a dimension where I'm magnetic as fuck. And even if I'm not at the swimming center, I'm still magnetic as fuck. It's an emotional state that gets projected into the 3D reality. So you feel like shit, you're tired and overwhelmed, even if you're at the most luxurious, beautiful place, like a blissed out place, you would still have agitations like tourists to come into your field and make you feel the same chaotic, overwhelmed feeling that you feel without it. So I choose that no matter if I'm there or not, I'm just still magnetic always, and everything around me is beautiful and harmonious. And because of that, it leads me to dating easier because I'm in flow and my feminine energy is radiating outwards. And so I then decide to thank all the bullshit. So you know how people tell you to write gratitude lists and all that shit? I wrote it and it kind of got me some good feelings. But what I wanted to end for good was bullshit. And I'll just read some of them, not all of them, but thank you for all the dips, the weird limbo phase, the constant tolerating, trains and buses in a certain environment where it's just really overwhelming and chaotic, no matter how exhausted I was. So no matter how tired I was from the swim and the lack of sleep and the stress and the limitations, I had to always catch these trains and buses. And sometimes they're just a lot on my body. The smell, the people, the everything is a lot. And I thank the bullshit that I had to go through because now I learned to create inner peace, inner harmony from within, regardless of how chaotic the outer environment is. I learned to finally feel peaceful, to feel okay, to feel still, and to find a sense of serenity in myself, even if there's people complaining in foreign languages and the smell sucks and everything sucks. But I choose that I have my inner palace and I can feel luxurious, pampered, special, and privileged in any location that I'm in, regardless if I have money to buy it or not. So if I want to feel like I'm in a 5-star hotel and I'm sitting in a shitty bus or train environment, sometimes it's not shitty, but a lot of time it's chaotic. Then I can feel like I'm in the 5-star hotel when I'm physically in a chaotic location. Thank you for all the weird, stagnant, cancelling out, break-even phase of my life where I was constantly putting in 1000% genuine energy and receiving 0% return in everything. And this was like all the way back to years and years and years ago, where I would design the website to the maximum capacity, to make it beautiful, to make a very good user experience, and I would get nothing else in return than breadcrumb pay and to be told to fix this and that. Or when I competed in public speaking and I was hoping to go international level, and I would lose to people that, again, execute okay speeches, just like this coloring contest. It felt like a joke. It felt like an insult. And I thank all those times because it made me learn how to really just have internal validation just from me, and to stop seeking it outwards from other people's praises or trophies or Google ads or subscribers and views and algorithms, but to congratulate me for my attempts. And that is enough. And as long as I feel internally validated and I pay myself after I do these things, that is enough. The outer world will reflect. But in the past, I was never paying myself, and I was always telling myself there are more hoops to go, there are more obstacles to go, you have to win this first, you have to finish this first, you have to do this job first, and I never get paid because I never paid myself. So I thank these times for teaching me how to vibrationally pay myself by finding emotional security from within. And the final one I'm going to read out is that I thank you to every single life restrictions of getting paid $75 to $100 weekly cash, and not being able to physically go anywhere on weekends, public holidays, or do anything freely without massively conserving my energy. Now, you may actually say that, why don't you go get a job? Well, I have. And once I got the freelance job or 9-to-5 job or any kind of job, it restricted me even more. So like my life quality just wouldn't increase no matter what. If I got the job, I would get paid, but then I would use the portion of the pay to pay for opals and traveling, and I would lose energy to build this. So either way, everything was a lose-lose. Even if I got a job, my mental health will still be destroyed. When I don't get the job, my mental health is good, but I don't get the pay yet. So it was all like this lose-lose situation that I'm thanking the bullshit of it for. I thank it for teaching me how to finally just alter everything from my internal state and to stop looking at things too logically and stop overanalyzing that, oh, everything's a lose-lose, but to see everything as a win-win for my character development. That this whole phase taught me how to be patient with myself, to never judge myself by society's standards, to never let anyone that look at me as a failure make me feel like a failure, to always treat myself with respect, to give myself dignity for every single small wins I made in private. Even if on paper it says unemployed, but behind the scenes, every single 1,000-meter swim, every single 4 a.m. wake-ups, every single 30 minutes coastal walk, every single sunrise by the ferries and the ocean water that I saw. Those are my private wins, and I should celebrate them every time. That this is it, Patty. You have dignity, you have self-respect, and that is enough. And if anybody else wants to judge you based on conventional social standards, that's their problem and that's their frequency. If they cannot see your excellence and your extraordinary character beyond that, that's their problem. So I realized that this limitation and this lack of finance and lack of everything has really taught me a lot about self-patience, about self-mastery, about discipline, about learning how to regulate my emotions under any circumstance and to be above it. So I'm thankful for it. Because all the 6 months of perpetual endless bullshit in 3D, I am now the best of the best that I've ever been, and I'm now internally regulated, internally magnetic, more than ever, and handling every dips like a fucking queen that I am. Thank you to the old frequency and my old self in the spiritual plane for doing its absolute best to destroy my life. And now it's miserably failed. I choose to let you disappear permanently from my life through love and deep awareness. The old frequency that has been tugging at me and torturing me at every turn. So thank you for every lesson you've taught me. You didn't destroy me or even keep me in the old reality. You actually made me rise even more faster in my new reality. That's the attitude I want you to carry through the liminal phase of manifestation. No matter how long it lasts, the no movement, the break evens, the every agitations and little bits and pieces of yes and no's. Because sometimes you watch manifestation videos and they talk about the wins like it's absolute bliss and that's it. But after the win, you still face more bullshit. It's just different levels of bullshit, different kind of problems. And at every turn, you want to respond like a queen or a king on your throne. You want to give yourself grace. You want to give yourself respect. And you want to never look down on yourself. No matter if you fail conventionally on the outside, but you still show up for yourself each time. That is what makes your character indestructible. So that when this no movement or break even phase of your life is done, you live such an extraordinary life. You live such an extraordinary life that you absolutely feel passionate about, because you know how to regulate yourself under disappointing times, under times where you should have gotten the payoff by now, but you haven't in the 3D. So you learn to give yourself all those feelings before reality could give it to you. You learn to give yourself that paycheck. You learn to give yourself that cuddle, that love, that affection, that I love you, Patty, that life that you want. You give it to yourself first before anybody else, your employers, your boss, your clients, give them to you. Give it to yourself. So if you're going through a liminal phase right now, I believe in you. Don't let anything in your outer reality tell you that it's impossible, because it's not. Everything is possible. All you have to do, if you keep seeing bullshit, is to just sit with yourself and just feel it. Like, is there any stuck frequencies? Any do you feel agitation? Do you feel like there's something in your body that you didn't look at earlier? Do you feel like you can't breathe properly? Do you feel frustrated? Do you feel any residues of disappointment and letdown? Let them all come to the surface. Sit with it, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour, however long, and release that frequency for good. Let it go. And I promise you that your dream life has to manifest right now, today. All right, see you soon. I believe in you. Best of luck.